Hello, everybody. It's Ryan from Pi Records, and I'm here with the gentleman from Al Tornado. How are you?
Good evening. Thank you. I'm fine. How are you?
Good, good. Um, for those of us in United States, it's always a privilege to um, speak with people internationally, especially in Russia, because there's a lot of good surf fans in Russia.
Mm.
And would you introduce yourself and what you do for the band?
Well, my real name is Anatoly Levskoy. I'm the only one man in the band, so-called band, because it's the one-man band, Alternator. I play bass, I play guitars, I write the music and overlook the whole thing. Let's put it that.
So you have a great single out that you put out previously
Mhm.
called Black Love, Black Glove.
Yes.
It's an amazing tune. Tell me what inspired you to write that tune.
Thank you. Well, actually, the whole thing started when the history of the band started when my wife bought my guitar. Actually, it's if you look at my background, this red guitar, this extreme. It's Czechoslovakian 1963 Yelana Tornado. It's quite a legendary guitar, and one of the first things that came up when I started to play it, it was the main riff of the Black Glove, Black Glove. And I thought for myself, well, it sounds good. I think I should make a track from it. And as it progressed, the writing process, as it progressed, it came to me that it reminds me one particular woman. To name it, Tura Satana, legendary actress from Faster Pussycat Kill Kill, obviously. And I think, well, maybe it's a track about her, so that was it.
Awesome, awesome. Tell me about this guitar. Why is it special to you?
Well, first, for the first time, I've seen this guitar in my school band. Actually, the guy has one, and I was amazed by the sound. It's quite warm, old-fashioned because it's a whole body guitar with a Bigsby Light tremolo. It's old-fashioned, but it's warm and it's have some very special taste, if you can say it. It sounds very quite tasty, and I wanted to buy it for a long time, and finally I was able to get it. So it the love for this guitar started years ago. So finally I can have it.
So, where in Russia are you located?
I am in the city of Blagoveshchensk. It's far east of Russia. It's situated on the border with the China, and we actually have a China across the river. So
Oh,
it's
wow.
about it's about a mile away. It's a city
Oh,
of Heihe, Chinese city. So yes, and a lot of people who came to Blagoveschensk, like tourists or visitors, ask what we should see in the city. What can you show us? So the main sightseeing in Blagoveschensk is China because it's actually across the river from the city, and a lot of people just get amazed, like wow, you're so close. So yeah.
so what are you working on right now? It said in your letter to me that you were working on new songs with and you're hoping to get a band together.
Yes, I'm working on some things right now. Firstly, I actually recorded the next single. It's being mixed right now, so I'm waiting for it being mixed and mastered. I hope to put it out somewhere this fall because a lot of obstacles on the way I've told
Yeah.
you about. Uh, and in parallel, I started to make a new record. So I hope it will be at least a 4-track EP. maybe more songs, so we'll look at it. So I'm currently working on new music and trying to compose, trying to record, rehearse, and demo things.
Right.
And we will where it will go.
So were you always into surf music and playing surf music?
Actually not. Well, obviously the 60s music in general was my first musical love because the first band I really get into was the Beatles. I was 12 at the time, and I think the whole thing started when I was a very young teenager, and from them I developed for some time love for the classic rock. No, so it's quite obvious pathway from the Beatles to Pink Floyd to Led Zeppelin, etc., etc. But at the same time, I get in my late teens. I've got involved in punk scene. I developed a lot of the punk rock music, hardcore punk, so quite loud, dirty, and music.
Yeah.
And when I get in my 30s, late 30s, the two loves of the 60s music and punk rock music sort of mixed together. So I get really in garage bands, 60s garage band, and all these wonderful compilations of the instrumental music, like instrumental. I think you know this compilation. It's wonderful. It's absolutely amazing and crazy music just being made. So I thought, well, it's great. So let's do this. Oh, sorry. I know exactly something.
So, was it during lockdown that you were kind of inspired to move in that direction to play surf music, record something and write something?
Yeah, I think it was before the lockdown actually. So as I told, the current project started when I get my Yelena, my main guitar right now. So I thought about making the band, but then came the lockdown, and another problem I'm struggling with that there's not really much surf musicians in my city actually, and that was a joke that I am the best surf guitarist and blaggerist because I'm only one. So the band, it's quite questionable, but I think I'll try to at least to try to get people involved.
Yeah.
Not many people here know what surf music is. That what is it? Because when I'm talking to somebody and I play surf, what's surf? You know, did you see it in the Pulp Fiction?
Yeah.
This song from this is surf. Oh, wow. So just people don't have a clue what surfing music is. So that's the problem. The main problem to get the bands here.
Yeah. Well, you told me a great story, a really lovely story about the connection between the name of your band and your
Mhm.
guitar. Could you tell me what that is?
Well, yes. The name of the band Tornado is based on the name of the guitar. So I can get it to show it better on a camera. So it's,
Wow.
yeah, this is 1963 Czechoslovakian made Elena Tornado. It's it was very popular in the Soviet Union. It was imported in a large numbers, and I've got the name of my project of my like my artistic name from the name of this guitar, and L. It's not Alfonso. It's not shortened name. It's my initials just combined to sound like a first name. So
Great.
that's how started the name of the band.
And how long did they build those in Czechoslovakia?
It's really hard to tell because there's not much documentation left since the fall of the communist regime, and some say that this particular model was made about a year. But I think a lot of people think that they were produced for a longer time because there's a lot of them survived, and looks like they were produced in quite large numbers, so it's relatively easily to get this guitar in playable shape. So maybe it was quite longer. But at least the sources I've got that this model was made for 2 years, but that's maybe might be not the case.
Yeah. Show those pickups and tell me what is different about those pickups.
Well, this wonderful pickups. It's Yelana. They own pickups. They call it Maestro, if I remember correctly. And the thing is, they're quite low output. And what I like about this guitar that it's sound differently from anything you expect in surf music, actually. And as far as I know, a lot of Yelan guitars of this year, of the 60s and 50s, were made to play jazz, actually. So it's more like jazzy sound guitar, but with a little kick of overdrive. If you crank up your amp a little bit, it start to produce very warm, but at the same time very distinctive sound. It's hard to describe it, especially with my with my knowledge of English. But it's very characteristic, and it's very distinctive. And also, if you please, I'd like to speak about my second guitar because now I have two. And
Absolutely.
when I've finished recording my first single, that Black Glove, I decided to get a second guitar, and this was my choice.
Oh wow.
This is the German Musima 1655 HV. V is for vibrato. So this is this wonderful instrument. And what's different is this from the Yelena. It's got master pickups, German master pickups. They are quite high output if combined with the Yelana, and it's produced more sharp. And with this guitar, you can get really a howling bluesy sound, and with high gain, with good amplifier, it might sound very punky.
Ah.
You can may say that. So this is my second guitar.
What kind of tremolo is that on there? What kind of bridge is that?
This is tremolo is it's just first of all, so for the it's interesting tremolo, interesting system. I've never seen this before, and it doesn't really get much of a vibrator, but you can wobble sound a little bit. I've got this guitar mostly for the rhythmic parts. I don't think I will use this vibrator a lot in the first place. So
It's a beautiful guitar.
yes, it is.
So
I
tell me a little bit about what you use for reverb in your amp.
well, as I'm a home musician, I can put a full stack behind me to scare my neighbors. So my home, all my home equipment is in this bag, actually.
Wow.
Yes, I've made this pedal board out of the quite cheap Chinese. Uh, so this is my signal chain. This my pedals I'm using. So firstly, it's obviously a tuner. You can go to a tuner. Next is the overdrive pedal. It's a clone of tube screamer like pedal, and it's when I play my Tornado, it's always on, and I use it as a booster, as a pre-amplifier to raise the signal a little bit to make it sound good. Next is tremolo. It's an optic tremolo for sort of rockabilly-ish sounds, and it's a good one. It sounds very mellow, not with any noises and all this stuff. This power block. This is analog delay, and I'm getting very fast delay to thicken the sound a bit. And the next one is a spring reverb. It's not actually the spring reverb you need to play surf like Dig Dale sound, but it does a job, and it sounds pretty okay to make things a little bit wet. So this is my pedals
Very,
I'm using.
very cool.
And as for the amp, I'm using actually again the pedal. I'm using it only at home because and this preamp it's a sort of clone of Fender. I think I can't really actually remember what Fender they based, but it's a Fender sound. So this is my preamp.
And then you go straight into the computer.
Yes, and this goes straight to the my audio interface. Uh, when we were recording, I used the real amps, not the Fenders, unfortunately. So what was on the rehearsal studio, so when we recording, so I can't actually remember the name of the amp, but it's some Valve. It was some Valve amplifier. Oh, it sounded okay, so we recorded.
Very cool. Very cool. Well, is there I want to first before we end, I would like to tell everybody to check out the link in the description. I'm going to link Al Tornado's Bandcamp link where you can find Black Love, which is a really great surf song. It's really got a lot of great reverb and the melody is great. Very happy for you that if you're in the middle of nowhere, like you say,
Actually, yes.
making good surf music,
Thank you.
you know, let's have everybody connect and let's get the word out.
Yes, no, I think in the days like this, it's even more important to get together, to get connected, to speak with everybody, because with all things that going on in the world
Yeah,
today, it's really important to keep together.
yeah, I believe that too. Is there anything you'd like to talk about or mention that I haven't asked about?
Well, I don't actually know because well, I just like to talk. It's it's not many people here, as I said before, that I can talk about surf music. So I'm always open for chat and always open to speak and get some words.
Awesome, awesome. Well, you have a great day. You know,
Thanks a lot.
your whole day ahead of you. I hope this talk is left you in a good mood. I was very happy to meet you.
Oh, the same. Thank you very much for having me.